And we're back.
There we go.
Apologies on that. We're using a new app, which we're just getting used to, and it seems to be playing up a little bit. But yeah, let's see how we go. How you getting on, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm really good, really good. Deep into the next phase of training. Certainly
Yeah,
feeling like today's Thursday, and I need to just move a little bit easier after the last
good,
couple of days.
good. Um, what was I going to say? This is what I was going to ask you. What's been going on at the gym, and anything else apart from training? Have you got? I know you guys are pretty good at organising social events. What's the score there?
Yeah, so we've got our annual birthday party coming up. So we're going to be 8 years old on the
Bloody
9th of
hell.
October. I know.
Okay.
So traditionally we just do a party in the evening. I say used to. So we always have a party in the evening. We kind of go places and do all that kind of stuff. Not necessarily
Yeah.
formal, but get away from the gym. This year we're gonna do an in-house competition as well, so a partner competition, which is going to be run in the morning. So morning classes come off between 9 and 2. It's going to be a pairs competition, suitable for all levels, so male, female, or a mixed pair. And then we tend to, whenever we run competitions, we like to kind of give back to the community in some form or other. So we like to raise money. And this year we're starting to pick charities and have like a period of time wherever we do an event, we'll try and raise money for that certain charity. This time we're going to use the charity CALM. So that's the Campaign Against Living Miserably. So that's predominantly a male suicide charity, where we're going to try and raise some money. The initiative that we're going to run for this competition in raising money is we're auctioning off all of the coaches to go with members. So we put an email out, put some social media out, and all of the coaches that are available on the day are going to be paired up with a member, and a member can bid. It's a blind bid, so they have to email in, and the highest bidder gets to go with that member. All of the bids we're going to collate, and everyone's going to give that money to charity, so it's not just the one bid. So we're hoping to raise around about 500 quid via doing that, maybe a little bit more. And then on the day, we'll kind of have some fundraising things. We've got some good connections at the gym, so we'll get some prizes and things like that, where we may do a bit of a raffle and things. So we asked the coaches for some provocative sell yourself kind of pictures, and some of the coaches did not disappoint. Some of them are in tip-top shape. So but my one, I managed to get a vest on, but that was about as far as it went.
One of them string vests. So we're talking, are we covering nipples, not covering nipples?
Yeah, nipples are well and truly covered, but it was a Nuco tee, so a little throwback T-shirt from a little while ago. So when Debs and Holly, who managed your nutrition back in 2017.
Yeah, that's cool. Just another quick one on that point. So, do you guys like organize social events like pretty often? Are there a couple of key ones through the year that you really kind of focus on? Yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of have a few. We pick out there's certain times of the year where everyone needs a bit of a boost. So we kind of do some stuff at the end of January, kind of to integrate the newer members into the gym. So you get a lot of people join kind of January, February time. So we try and landmark something there. Our kind of October time is our annual party, and then obviously around Christmas. We did launch something kind of pre-COVID, which was TGIF, or Thank God It's Friday. And what we used to do is once a month, kind of the first Friday of every month, we'd take off our evening classes and we'd just run like a 90-minute class where we'd try and make it accessible to kind of 40 plus people who would want to come down, have a bit of a beer, a bit of a socialize. And one of our coaches just ran it. So it wasn't a huge event. It wasn't like we drummed up loads of following to it, but it was enough to kind of keep itself ticking over. We only managed to run like 3 or 4 of them before lockdown come in. But then it kind of gave levels to the kind of competitions we would do. And then one of the other things that we did like to do pre-COVID, which we're starting to reintroduce, is kind of outside of the gym based socials. So a group of girls are currently doing it at the minute, which is really quite cool, where they're on the Saturday morning, they tend to go to the class. And then if you go down, so we're quite close to the River Thames, they've all bought themselves a paddleboard. And then after the class, they get a coffee, go paddleboard up and down.
Oh, that's cool.
So small things like that are just kind of building the community. Like we all know, after you've been at the gym 6 months a year, most of your best friends are based around the gym that you go to. So creating something that kind of is outside of that is pretty cool. And if it's off the members' own backs, it's fully supported from the gym's point of view, which is really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Because I was speaking to a friend of a friend the other day, and he was moving to New Zealand, and he was asking about CrossFit, and he's never done it before, and he was like just saying, "Oh, would you recommend going to to a CrossFit gym to meet people?" And I was like, "Yeah, 100%. Like, always super friendly, keen to meet probably outside the gym as well, like just bring you into the group. As I said, it's very much kind of, it's not a cult, but people are kind of happy to bring you into the circle. So yeah, definitely a great way to meet new people, to move into a new place as well. So yeah,
definitely. We see a lot of that. A lot of people move into London, say kind of we're 15 minutes on a fast train into Waterloo. So you get a lot of members that are kind of living out our way. They'll join. They've done CrossFit before, and it's their first port of call. It's like they'll Google where they're living. Okay, where's the closest box, and then they'll come and make themselves a community via the gym.
Yeah, cool. Right, so we should get stuck into this week's program.
Yeah. Good one.
Cool. So we are pretty much right in the middle of this phase. This is week 3 coming up, starting the 27th of September. Big thing to kick off the Monday. We've got some deadlifts. Not deadlifts on Monday, I don't think, for a good while, if ever, for this past couple of months. So really important before we get stuck into that deadlift is to really get people moving, especially if they've not done much on the Sunday. So mobilising and just getting a good kind of hip warm up beforehand is going to be really key there. Have you got anything you want?
Yeah, so we kind of touched on it at the back end of our video last week, saying the Friday previous to this is Diane, and then we've got some kind of some movement work kind of on the Saturday as well. So just making sure that we're kind of picking and choosing our battles. So if you come in kind of a bit battle scarred, if you're a weekend warrior, just get people. We've got it's 3 sets of 10. So that can be skinned any way possible. If you want to go a little bit lighter, just to make sure you're getting those positions done correctly, fantastic. If you felt like you had a bit of a weekend off and you kind of come in recharged, go for it.
Yeah, good stuff. I love the way chief style. I always love a chief style workout. Yeah. Again, with wall walks in there, just keeping them ticking over. Definitely up and comes back around. Shouldn't be too bad for a lot of people, which is good. The competence of that new skill, because we've been pretty new, obviously, too good at it. So easy places to be racking up there when the time comes on the leaderboard.
Definitely. I think that the mechanics of the movement, I think if you watch, like certainly from my perspective, watching the top level athletes do the wall walks on the open, watching the difference between their scores from maybe they posted it on the Friday and then they read it on the Monday because maybe there was a bit of movement that they needed to fix. Just the efficiency of that movement. It's so much more than just a bit of grunt work. If you can learn how to wiggle your hands, we'll maybe try and get a video and talking about the best ways to kind of get this wall walk efficient. Even from my experience I didn't get a chance to do them in the open because I was a bit crook. So when I gave the first time I put wall walks in a workout was last week, where we did the 7-minute AMRAP of double unders and wall walks, and I got exposed. I thought my shoulder endurance was good. Double unders were fine. Then I got to the wall walks and I knew that I could do 2 without stopping, because the third one I was going on my face. So I've learned from that. I did a little workout yesterday kind of with them in there, and it's just about knowing your ability and knowing your level. From a coaching point of view, when I coached it, it was start really slowly. A lot of people think just jump in and give one a go, but about, okay, let's minimize the amount of effort going through our arms. Let's build the confidence for the members that are scared going upside down, because we're all coaches and early adopters. We kind of throw ourselves into stuff. You'll probably have some members that are super nervous about, one, maybe just lying on the floor, two, then getting their feet above their head and panicking about what's happening. So delivering it at a pace that people feel comfortable with is so important. And building it from the bottom up. We kind of spoke about this previously. When you're introducing a movement, start with the low hanging fruit and then build it through to your top level athletes. So that covers the whole breadth and depth of your class, as opposed to going, here's a ring handstand push up, let's all try and do that first, and then whittling ourselves down to the point where the person's just maybe hanging off of the rings. The other way is the best way.
On the Tuesday, just leading up from that, I know before we got on this call, you mentioned about one of your members in particular that on the EMOMs that we've been having each week, building up the gymnastic volume, you said most people have stuck with the same scale, the same amount of reps, apart from one particular guy. If you want to get into that.
Yeah, so I'm obviously pretty much a stickler for guys. We need to keep the same progressions. We've added 2 minutes, like, let's work really hard on this. And then this one lad, he is new in, so we'll say he's in the beginner games trajectory. So he's kind of getting better very, very quickly. Last week, kept him on kip swings. His kip swings were probably quite inconsistent. Sometimes he was good, sometimes everything was coming forwards and backwards. And then obviously the session was the same time the next week previous. So I saw him again, and all of a sudden he's doing 4 kipping pull-ups on the minute every minute. Looked like a completely different person. So there's a lot of efficacy in repeating the same thing, just so that you can get some skills under your belt. But encourage those people to kind of progress a little bit if you feel it is worthy. He took it upon himself to give it a go. And you never want to dampen someone's enthusiasm. So I've been caught in the past making mistakes where someone's maybe trying to overreach, and I'll try and rein them back in too soon. You never want to dampen someone's ability to want to progress. You can kind of guide it, never stop it. I've stopped it on a few occasions. That hasn't helped the guy or girl in the gym. Maybe in hindsight, I just guide them and say, okay, make sure you don't tear your hands while you're doing these pull-ups, and that gives a better result. So yeah, massive improvements. So hopefully you guys in all the other gyms are seeing some progressions and first pull-ups and maybe first muscle-ups as well.
Yeah, 2 key things there. Like you say, it's good. It's that fine line, isn't it, of guiding people back too much, but not letting them push too hard either. And that's a skill that's refined as a coach over, of experience. And like say, without that experience, you're gonna, and without kind of holding people back too much and not holding other people back enough, lines that just like comes with experience. The second one, really good and really important, is hand care. Actually, in this phase, we're building the gymnastics capacity. Just important, stop any rips, like get on your members just to be, filing down any calluses. Been using lots of chalk. The hand's going to be super dry, so just washing the hands straight after the workouts and after the EMOMs as well is going to be just the rip in the hands, and we're going to have to adjust things probably for the rest of the week, which ideally we don't want. So just by spending a couple of minutes here and there, it's going to make such a big difference and just keep them on track with the training and the classes. And again, that's going to keep up the motivation, because as soon as people's hands rip, they're like, oh, for God's sake. And then they're like, getting a bit of a downer. So yeah, that's kind of really important to do as well. This workout that you've programmed after is awful. It's got acid bath feels from the Dubai CrossFit champs. That is awful. You awful man.
I know. It was something that obviously our priority now is still on that gymnastics, and then sometimes kind of that middle member still wants to burn a bit of a blow, but from a coaching perspective, we think of the dynamic of a class. If you've got one eye on having to coach too much technical nature after the gymnastics, you're going to always not give your best effort as a coach on the gymnastics stuff at the front. Now, I'm not saying that you don't coach and get the correct stimulus from the workout, but it means that you can put more eggs in trying to get someone better moving on the gymnastics, knowing that you've got a slightly lower skill workout to finish. Lower skill doesn't mean easier. Obviously, as you can see reading this, I'm going to be dreading doing that. Yeah, I think I put in the notes, you're gonna have to run harder than you want to. You're going to come off probably pretty jelly-legged, but after the first 50 meters, your legs are going to be fine to kind of run at this uncomfortable pace. And then when you come back in on the machine, you've got, I think for most people, a minute 40 to maybe 2 minutes worth of graft on that machine. And yeah, as a group of coaches, get the music high, get the adrenaline going, get the machines close to each other, and the people right next to each other, so they're really pushing.
It will for the length of that workout. It will run like who can run the fastest, because 2 seconds on the rower, like at the start, 2 seconds at the end, like that's probably the most you're going to get ahead of someone else. You know, it might be a little bit more, but you can easily make that up on a. You know, you can push that bit. So yeah, like Jamie said, don't take your foot off the burner there for sure. So yeah. Some big back squats. Have people still been progressing nicely with them, Jamie? How have they been going?
Yeah, so still ticking along quite nicely. We're using that format where they're taking 4 sets, so it is giving people that adequate time between sets and reps. Because obviously, if you're in a class environment, it's very tempting to kind of keep that momentum up, and a lot of people taking like extra sets and things like that. But we kind of talking about building that community at a low heart rate. That time in between where you're networking and talking to members is hugely important. Numbers wise, people are still progressing. I think responses from our members are they're really enjoying the logical process, so they could, because it's drawn out really simply, 6, 4, 2, heavier. It's one of those ones that they can then, I've already explained, when they go back to 5, we want to see a heavier weight than the 4. So that's what I was having that conversation with this week. And when we're doing the 2, that's we're like, okay, can we squeeze that out for the 3 the next time? So we're just trying to lump on some more load in, some more stability and more confidence under a heavy bar.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Good point that, because a key thing to mention there is, like you say, because we've been building up the weight in whatever the reps are that we're aiming for. So either 6, 4, or 2s. When it comes round to going back to the 5s, it's just going to be a window, and your window to hit, you know, a 5 rep max, 3 rep max, 1 rep max, or whatever it is that's coming up. So yeah. You tackle how you tackle these squats that we've done in the past couple of weeks will be slightly different in the coming weeks as well. So, and it's obviously we've done it in a way where members can begin to squeeze out them extra kilos here and there and feel fresher now from next week when they go into that top set. So yeah. Going on to Thursday, we've made this obviously. A key thing that we like to get across is being able to change around that Thursday. Because obviously, if some gyms they like to kind of days, you know, the same as what we program, and the members kind of get into that routine of like, yeah, we know I'm coming on Thursday and it's going to be a bit of a mover rather than sending it. Doesn't work for all gyms. Some other gyms they like to swap it around because some members can only come on that Thursday. So a key thing to note there is what we are going to do for you going forward is right which day that you change it with if you do want to change it around. So like I said, the kind of works for that if you do want to change the days around, and it would just be the case where you just have to change the date if if you need to on the platform that you provide the programming to your members. What you tend to keep it the same though, don't you, Jamie?
Yeah, we've kind of been enjoying the Thursday. I tend to, the way I like to change things up, say members are kind of getting used to routine, is be very provocative and then have a week where I don't post the programming in advance. So the programming format remains the same. Done it periodically, kind of once every 4 to 6 months, where we tee the members up. So it normally gets released on like a Friday at 7 o'clock. So it's uploaded. We use Wadboard, and it goes on and it gets released. We only really have like 1 or 2 members that are kind of keen to look at it at 7 o'clock. So if there's a problem with the loading of it, they're first on my WhatsApp pinging off at me. But yeah, every now and again, I'll just say, right, guys, it's a blind week. I'm guessing the first person in at 6 a.m. they'll probably take a picture and then send it to the people that want to know. As the usual business. But yeah, that's how I tend to kind of get, not necessarily the variety, but just to freshen up the feel for it. Just to reiterate what Jack said about how the changing of the days, we'll probably just title it and we'll give 2 days. So for instance, for that week, we could probably interchange the Wednesday and the Thursday. So we'll label that accordingly. We will leave it written as it is, with the Thursday being that kind of break in the week for our members. I like it because it's a mental break. I follow the programming myself, and I feel like I put my hammer down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then I'm like, okay, I need to take my foot off the gas on Thursday, and then it gives me a chance to then hit Friday, Saturday. But that is for your member, that's kind of doing your 4 to 5 sessions a week. Whereas, yeah, we totally get that if some members are on 2 to 3 a week and they're kind of looking at picking out the days they need to come to, that it is interchangeable, so they don't end up having the same thing.
Yeah, good stuff. On that Thursday note, Fight Gone Bad, a classic.
Yeah,
it was a few classic.
It's a word. Go
on.
It's the workout that we used to use at the end of our foundations course, kind of in years gone past, and it's always the one that, like, kind of when it's revisited, it kind of holds good value across the CrossFit world. Like sumo deadlift high pull, one of those movements you see like at the regionals, when it was that time everyone forgotten how to do it. We put it at the affiliate gathering when I was coaching that the other week, and everyone's like, oh yeah, remember how to do that. And then in this one, you can, a little hack, if you don't have that many barbells and you want to run it in the room, we tend to use kettlebells sometimes. Slightly easier accessibility, because everyone's done the sumo deadlift high pull where it touches one side and then I want to try and do 20 reps, but it's all over the place. So kettlebell's a good way to give a beginner good access to getting that movement done correctly.
That is good shout. Little tips like that, gold. On the Friday, we've got a bit of snatch accessory work, which we've not actually done that much of before. But again, good skills to kind of have for members then to either be able to use off their own back in open gym if they ever feel like they need a bit of extra accessory work. Obviously, there'll be some members that might struggle with these bits a little bit, Jamie. So how would you go about coaching, this snatch accessory work?
Yeah, so with these movements, they're not necessarily alien to everybody. They'll probably be used as maybe some skill drills in warm-ups leading up to the snatch. But whenever I see them, you have people that struggle to overhead squat. You also have people that struggle to kind of go behind the neck presses. So from a format point of view, it is required from the rack. But when you're teaching the movement, everyone should have their own barbell in a space like they were doing a snatch from the floor, because then it gives loads of time for practice. Whereas if you've got a rack and you've got 3 people in at a rack, you're teaching the same thing over and over again, and people are not getting the right amount of exposure under practice. So setting the tone for coaching the classes, everyone has their own barbell, coach it like a normal snatch in respect to they've got to bring the bar up. It's empty, it's PVC pipe if you need to. And then once you've gone through those drills, you can then get people into the racks. But then some people might go, I can picture a few of my members already that go, I'm probably not going to add any weight. I just want to practice the drills. They can stay away from the rack. They don't feel like they're hindering a group. That's normally what you tend to get with these things, where if you're in a rack, they're like, oh, I don't want to go with that person because they lift far more weight. That's completely fine. Other things to be aware of, obviously, if people can't press behind their neck, i.e. they're in that kind of a really awkward position, we can maybe look at pressing from kind of the top of the head. We're just trying to get in a good place. And then if they're not able to overhead squat, what are we doing to kind of improve that overhead squat? Are we just making them back squat? Because sometimes that can be good. Front squat might be better to develop. Let's get that working a little bit better before we go overhead. And then be individually coaching your clients. Is it a mobility issue in the thoracic? Is it stability? Are people not able to kind of control that position as they're going down and then they lock up in certain areas? That's where you get real good value. If a member comes away, oh, okay, I just couldn't do it and my wrists hurt, that's not going to help them ever want to do it again or get them closer to doing it. So have a few different ways to skin the cat on this workout, kind of giving you more questions than answers. But sometimes I think that's better for a coach to go in with a real open mind and go, this is the group I've got. I can picture my lunchtime class. A lot of people will be able to do this. But imagine 6 a.m. I can't think of anything worse for me in my body than walking in the gym at 6 a.m. and trying to overhead squat. Give me a burpee, give me a run at 6 a.m. But trying to do that, I'll find that really difficult. So just be ready to kind of change your skill set depending on the time and who's in your class.
Yeah, good stuff. I feel like you said, if some people don't want to build the weight, like just let them build the confidence with a barbell and just doing a few more reps rather than trying to push them if they feel uncomfortable, especially for women that in particular that don't have the stability, and you really shaky when they're squatting just with a bar. That's all they need. Let's develop that first before we start to get a bit of weight on the bar. So yeah, tailoring it to each individual, your class is really important on those things. For the Saturday, we've got a variation of the JST Compete white ball workout. Just give you a little bit of background about this. We basically put a bit of a post out there and said, if any athletes fancy sending us in their ultimate workout or a workout that would really suit them, we got them to send it in. So this was one from Jamie Harrop. So Jamie's done a Hugo Igo version for the class program, which is pretty cool, just to keep it the same. And it'd be interesting to see, if you can get X amount of rounds in the time a year. Are you beating the top individuals on JST Compete, in your pairs, that sort of stuff? So yeah, pretty cool to be able to do that. I know you said the other week about the Reggie one, Jamie. And like you say, for an individual, that workout is going to be really hard, like an elite individual. But it'd be cool to see two people go head to head and see if they can, top him. So yeah.
I always I think I mentioned this before on watching Dan Bailey do workouts against like 5 people, one after the other. Obviously we're all CrossFit fans, like, so when we watch Reggie do workouts, you're cheering him on, and you're watching all of those guys, and you're like, okay, can a team of 5, crack team of 5, try and beat them that are in their own game, kind of thing.
It always sticks out in my mind, that video. It's always was cool to watch back in the day, that one for sure. So good to keep that wider community element with the JST Compete guys as well. Keep some aspirations of your members. No doubt some of them watch the YouTube videos and the vlogs and all that sort of stuff and see them on there. So yeah, good to keep that wider community element. Going on to the Sunday, bodybuilding work. The members, accessory, keeping on top of the members' accessory work, particularly those small muscles like biceps, triceps. Usually are the weaker points when it comes to handstand push-ups or chest to bar pull-ups, that sort of stuff. So really important we keep on top of that. And again, just good to get a bit extra capacity working really for gymnastics as well without actually doing the reps. So that's just going to keep the conditioned and as well. So yeah, anything else you want to add? I know I chatted on quite a bit there, Jamie, but yeah.
Yeah, the good old-fashioned elbow health is important. Kind of getting those triceps and biceps really strong. I know we kind of, if you go and down the rabbit hole of too much CrossFit and getting too much intensity going through the elbow joint, you kind of get the tendonitis injuries and the recurring shoulder injuries. So this stuff, having a bit more control, kind of building some strength through those movements. And it's also great work, kind of, it's something that you can get in and start doing. If you kind of are always panicking about how hard workouts are, you kind of build up this relationship of being too scared by every training session. Like there are elements, like we say on that Tuesday, where you go super hard on a workout and your members are going to talk about it and like it's going to be tough, as opposed to, okay, Sunday mover, I'm feeling good. I can push the workout if I want to and I can come away lying on the floor, but I'm not going to come away, one, feeling too sore from it, and two, I'm not going to be intimidated by that kind of workout. So it kind of, you've got to undulate your training so you can kind of, I know our members like training a lot, so you can't just throw them a frown every day.
Yeah, agreed. Otherwise, you wouldn't have very many members left by the end of the week. That's for sure.
No, well, I mean, how many times have I done Fran? I'd probably say if it was an easier workout, I would have done it more. That's probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
I think anytime we see a workout like that, or any kind of workout, open workouts are those ones where no one does all of those. When was the last time you did the rowing and wall ball workout, that open workout, the AMRAP? I did it once. I'm not doing that again. Unless they make it.
I did it. Well, yeah, I did it twice. I did it once on the Strength in Depth at the Strength in Depth event.
Yeah.
And then did it again. I did it again Monday. No. Ooh, I know. Yeah. Again, it's not a workout that you want to repeat, really. So yeah, it's true. We had Hunter McIntyre, is that his name? Yeah. The OCR High Rocks guy who got an invite to the CrossFit Games 1 or 2 years ago now. Met him yesterday. He was a really nice guy. He was a really nice guy. It was good to meet him. We did a pretty cool workout where it was 10 rounds, 400 meter run, 10 meter handstand walk, 20 push-ups, slots. And we had cones set out at 10 meter intervals. And obviously each lap that you did, you move forward to the next cone. So you kind of see where each other are. But it was quite cool, actually. I know Tio has an out area, and to be able to kind of use that space was actually really nice for a bit of a change. So, like you said before, good that members get out the gym and do stuff together. Cool. Maybe just a cool event to do one weekend sometime is go to a track and do a workout like that, because it was really good. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, cool workouts like that, doing stuff that you can't normally do and you organise. That kind of goes back to our first conversation of the social events. So a cool thing that we have is about 15 minutes away. It's called Shepperton Lake. So you can go down there. It's public lake. We took all of the kettlebells down. We've got a great relationship with them. So we took all of our kettlebells down. I said had about 50 members. We did an initial swim. So some members were really competent, and then some, like myself, getting in the lake was kind of not a scary experience, but just a new experience. So kind of we had half the group doing a long swim, half doing a short one. And we did some running around the lake, some swings, and kind of stuff that you wouldn't normally to get into the box. Then around the corner, there's great coffee and cake So it was like kind of just building a whole week Saturday morning session. So yeah, getting outside the gym is something that I need to do more of, because my life's been in the gym, rugby, and doing this. So it's good.
Yeah, it's really good. It was, yeah. Cool. I guess we should wrap this week up unless there's anything else.
No, we're all good.
No.
I think we're good.
Good stuff. Cool. Right. Well, I guess we'll see you all next week. We're trying to chop and clip these videos up a little bit more and drop a bit more kind of nuggets on you here and there. So yeah, we'll keep filtering through those to you. But yeah, we'll catch you all soon.
See you later, guys.
I think we're done. Right. So I'm gonna have to bounce because I've got contracts to drop off and a bit of work to do. So yeah,
you go and do that.
All right. Right.
I'll leave you to it. Everything's done in that respect. I'll try and get cracking, and I might even see if I've got time at the weekend to go and get an extra week ahead on the programming. So we still give them that next week. I don't know if I can. So I see that you've just put the next phase in, the next few weeks.
Yeah.
So we're doing 5 weeks and then 1 week off.
And the deload this time, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So that we need to decide what we're going to do. We need to make sure we know what we're going to do with that 1 max. Yeah. Next week it'd be 5, then 3 on week 5, and then it'd be 1 on the deload. It's like, do we do it on the deload, or should we just push it to the next phase? It's something to worth.
Okay. Well, let's you get off, you get busy. We'll have a thing. We'll just have a message and have a chat. Both work, so
cool.
It's not. Yeah. We could probably put it in the middle of in the deload week, and it'd be all right. Sweet.
Yeah. All right then. I'll catch you in a bit.
Mate, have a good one. I'll see you later.
You too. Bye.
Yeah, I think it's alright, you know. I think my notes on the ground is like. So. Which is pretty much just
percentage indication of the total. Hemoglobin present at the muscle and what percentage of that hemoglobin has oxygen connected to it. So that's the muscle oxygen percentage that you get. The red line is the heart rate trend, is the second variable if you look at, and the third variable is the brownish line, which is the total hemoglobin. And total hemoglobin is not measuring blood volume, but it's a very good proxy for measuring it. So the more blood you have in your leg, the more hemoglobin you probably also have in your leg. So just to be clear that we're not measuring blood volume, but we're measuring a substance within the blood that is a pretty good proxy for how much blood there's in. So when initiating the intervals, what you have to look at is, of course, you have to look at in the work bout from time to time, is he getting lower and lower in the muscle oxygen saturation? He is, and by the fact that he finished at 70% indicates that he's not having a utilization issue, meaning that he can take the oxygen from the muscle and deliver it to the muscle and convert that into energy. The second thing you have to look at is the THP value. So when he is working, what is happening with the blood flow in the leg? And more importantly, when he stops working and releases the tension on the leg, what happens then? Is the blood pooling up, meaning that he creates a tension that high that his blood can escape his legs, and it's pretty much causing a pooling effect.